Word.
This is the Word on the Street, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. This is Ramses, your host. Sorry, people. What you just heard that sounded exactly like this voice mine was actually a recording by Jake. He's trying to build an audio archive of me.
Cyber Ramses.
So that, I don't have to do the show and I can just take some nights off sometime. So far, so good, Jake. Welcome to the Word on the Street podcast, though. Produced here by a bunch of legends here on the call. Jake from the MMA podcast. How are you doing?
Doing very well, man. Doing very well. How are you?
Pretty good, man. You just tell me what more drops you need me to record, and I'll do it for you. No problem. Awesome. May or may not be back. The best Jew in the business, Ross Finkelstein. Follow him on Twitter at Ross Finkelstein. Are you there, Ross? I know you need a minute. He's probably not back.
I'm here. The Jew is here. The Jew is proud to be here. Back on the Word on the Street podcast. I have a belt that I haven't defended in weeks. I don't know what's happening with it, but I am still your Word on the Street podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Ross Finkelstein, E before the L.
We'll talk about your trivia championship here soon, a little bit later on in the program. It'll be a short one, don't worry. We also have Officer Allen from the mean streets of Louisiana. How you doing, Officer Allen?
Not too bad, Ramses. Hello from Louisiana. It's nice to be here, guys.
Good to hear. And it doesn't stop, people. It's jam-packed here on the podcast. We also have an amateur fighter, jiu-jitsu medalist, gold, silver. I don't know if he has a bronze yet. Do you? He's Yao the Truth from Queens, New York. Yeah, what's up?
What's up, guys? Just happy to be on the Word on the Street. I am coming to some of you guys from the future, and it's all right over there.
Awesome. And no offense to Ross, Allen, Jake, or Yao, but I did save the best for last. Of course, he is the living legend, co-host on the show, Team Sonnen, Team Darkside, training the likes of Kelvin Gastelum, working with Uriah Hall, throwing mitts with Yushin Okami, Mike Pierce on occasion, and of course working with Chael Sonnen's camp, one of his right-hand men, the living legend, Coach Jamie Huey. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. You guys are too kind. Appreciate it.
We appreciate every time that you're on. And let's get right to it, man. I have to ask you a couple things. Since we last talked, there's been a few developments. A lot of Team Sonnen related news happened in the past week. I can think of 4 items off the top of my head. Well, one of them is, of course, Chael Sonnen facing Wanderlei Silva in Brazil. We talked about that last week. But we also had Luke Barnatt. He completely blasted Andrew Craig. Kelvin Gastelum's up there working with GSP now. He's got an upcoming fight. Uriah Hall got into a little bit of scuffle with Mayhem Miller. I think we should start off with that first. Coach Jamie Huey, have you heard about the scuffle so far? Just right off the bat, do you even know what we're referring to here?
Yeah, I started my tech. I was down in Mexico all week, so I couldn't. The internet was a little sketchy where it was at Mexico City, so.
Yep.
But I could get text messages, so I started. My text messages started blowing up.
Yeah.
With all this, hey, are you with Uriah or what's going on and blah blah blah. Is everything okay? And so that was kind of how I had heard about it. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. I don't know if it really caught me off guard or not, but it was kind of an unfortunate situation. But so yeah, I am privy to it, and I did see the video. I reached out to Uriah the other day, but I didn't hear back from him, and it wasn't really in relation to this. I just kind of wanted to check in and see how he was doing. But so yeah, I'm aware of the Mayhem. One more situation and the drama that is Jason Mayhem Miller.
Yeah, the poor guy. Honestly, a lot of people roasted him, calling him racist. I don't believe that he's an actual racist. But yeah, for anybody for any listeners that have no idea what the hell we're talking about, Uriah Hall and Mayhem Miller were at some sort of MMA event, expo. I don't even know what it was, convention, perhaps something like that. And there's some words were exchanged, and then they got into a little bit of a little back and forth, and then well, Mayhem Miller called, you can see this on the video, called Uriah Hall, quote, a bitch ass nigga twice, setting Uriah Hall off. He took a swing at Mayhem. I can't really tell. I don't think he got a piece of it. I don't think he connected. It might have just been, one of those, a flashy kind of jab that you just, you got to do something at that. Well, Coach, Uriah Hall personally. I mean, did any of this surprise you, for one thing, that he would react this way to being, well, to being hit with pretty much a racial slur? Do you think he was justified, or I mean, if you had been there, what would you have advised him to do? I mean, would you have joined in on the stomping on Mayhem? What's the deal? What's the word on the street?
Well, I mean, it's kind of, to be honest with you, like I've always kind of stuck up for Mayhem a little bit when it came to like the Ariel Helwani interviews, and I obviously the guy's got some issues. I don't ever want to kick somebody when they're down. I don't exactly know the whole story, but obviously there's been a lot of stuff in the news about him, beating up his girlfriend and blah blah blah. Anybody could get on the internet and research that stuff. But there's other situations that happened when we were down there at Rain training for the last fight, and there was a situation where Jason came into the gym and there was hardly anybody in there, and he walks in through the front door there where nobody's, I guess nobody was standing. Walks past that into the gym, and then there's a couple people in there training, and looks around, sees a 8x10 picture of him and Mark Munoz from back when they were training together. Rips the 8x10 off the wall,
What?
in the frame, takes it just walks out of the gym, takes it outside into the middle of the parking lot, and it's kind of in a warehouse district. Breaks the glass on the picture, takes the 8x10. Now this is where it gets weird. Rips his face out of his picture. He just rips kind of methodically. The people are watching him. Rips his face out.
His own face?
His own face. Folds it in half. Puts it in his pocket. Takes the 8x10. Drops it on the floor. Drops his pants in the middle of the parking lot. Proceeds to piss on this picture. Gets in his car and then drives off.
What?
Now, yeah, it was crazy. So his ex-girlfriend, I've heard stories from her and, stuff at the gym. I mean, he just, I don't know what his deal is, man. I feel bad. I hope he gets help. I hope he can figure out whatever his issues are, but the guy's clearly lost. And at this point, I'm not sure that he's going to be able to even come back from something like this. So as far as the situation with Uriah, I mean, I don't really think it was, a situation with Uriah other than he just happened to be an unwilling participant when Jason decided to kind of snap and do his proverbial, crazy shit that he's been doing lately. So, he was obviously provoking Uriah, and it got to the point where Uriah just had enough of it. And it could have been Uriah, or it could have been any fighter in the UFC. I would have done pretty much the same thing if somebody's right in your face provoking you. The story that I got was he was over there yelling at his girlfriend, and she was crying, and it kind of got to the point where it was uncomfortable for everybody. Uriah saw it, and being the type of person Uriah is, he went over there to try to, what are you doing, man? Come on. And Mayhem snapped on him and went basically said the coldest thing that he could say to try to get a rise out of Uriah
Yep.
And after ignoring it for a few times, Uriah finally snapped back at him. So, I mean, I think he's clearly justified in doing so. And you know, I agree with you. I don't think Jason's like a racist. He's not running around and he's not calling people the N-word, but he was definitely trying to provoke Uriah into a fight. And, you know, I kind of tend to think that he's lucky that there was security there, because there wouldn't, and it probably wouldn't have ended it very well for him. So,
Oh, no.
yeah,
No.
you know, Uriah is a very extremely dangerous person when he's provoked. You know, he maybe went out there and didn't quite fight the John Howard fight that he should have, but you know, had something like that happen with, you know, it just would have been a bad situation. So I'm glad nobody got hurt, and you know, it's unfortunate, but stuff like that happens.
No, it definitely is. But yeah, that's we actually analyzed the audio on the MMA podcast of Mayhem just yelling at the racist crap at Uriah, and we determined that Mayhem kind of realized his mistake midway through, and then he tried to kind of like stress the fact that he wasn't actually saying the word ending in an R. He was saying nigga. Like he stressed that part. It's pretty funny if you listen to it again.
Yeah, I mean, but regardless of how he said it, it was definitely with a tone to provoke Uriah into a reaction. And
oh yeah.
He got one.
Yeah, and you can see, yeah, and I think Mayhem knows he fucked up big time. You're right. Like how it's gonna be hard to come back from being labeled a racist. You rarely ever see that happen in the mainstream media, you know. But when you do talk to Uriah, are you gonna bring it up, or are you just gonna see if he does? Are you gonna maybe tell him, hey man, you should use that in your next fight? You know, is that something they even tell your fighters, to use their anger?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you know, by the time, you know, I mean, there's so many other things for, you know, that I want to catch up with Uriah and talk to him about when I see him, that this is just kind of not really a big deal. You know, for me, it's just, you know, I like to, you know, I just like to see my friend, see how he's doing, and help him out in any way I can. But so as far as all the, you know, the stuff like this happens, I mean, if he brought it up, then we'll talk about it. But it's probably, you know, there's a list of, you know, 1,000 things I'd like to see how he's doing before I even, you know, approach this conversation in regards to something like this.
Yeah, smart play. We actually have the audio clip in question. I just want everybody to notice how Mayhem tries to kind of catch himself and save himself. The second time he repeats the phrase bitch ass nigga, he stretches out the fact that he's not actually saying the full word. Let's play it. You can hear it. It's hilarious. This is just so ridiculous.
Uriah, stop.
Whoever yelled Uriah stop, like, nah, man. They should have. I think that fight, Uriah Hall versus Jason Mayhem Miller, was an early stoppage, Coach. I don't know. They should have let that one go a little bit longer, in my opinion.
I think that the actual fight would be an early stoppage, but you know, I don't know. I think Jason's really got some head things going.
Yeah.
I don't think he's out there trying to be a malicious asshole. I don't think he's out there just like, you know, trying to be a dick for no reason. I mean, I generally think the guy has some issues, man. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm speculating. I don't know if they're drug related. I don't know if they're, you know, from getting hit too many times in the head. You know, I don't know what exactly is. But you know, I hope he's got a close friend or somebody that can kind of reach out to him and help him out of this stuff, because I mean, it just seems it's just one constant situation after another with this guy. And you know, I mean, that's unfortunate. You know, nobody wants to see anybody go out like that. But you know, I mean, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do, man? You know, you can't let somebody get in your face and provoke you, regardless of what their mental state is at the time. So I would have, you know, I get it, man.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact that Mayhem just keeps outdoing himself as far as how low he can go. I mean, he goes from, you know, losing his job as a fighter to getting arrested, desecrating church. Then he moves on to hitting women, apparently, and then now he's taking it to being a racist. It's just how much worse he's gonna have to kill somebody next to top himself at this point. It is really sad, man. I really do hope he gets some help, but everybody's been saying that for years, but it's like this dude isn't getting any help. You know what it's like. So I get what you're saying. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yeah, that's Uriah Hall, though. You know, also Dana, he made a comment on it. Somebody asked him if Uriah Hall would face any consequences or anything like that. And Dana said he was going to give him a bonus. Just going to give Uriah Hall a bonus. And you know what? Why not, man? Uriah Hall could use it. He could use any boost right now. Good luck to him in his next fight. Other Team Darkside news. Kelvin Gastelum, the winner of the Ultimate Fighter Season 17. Coach, he's up there in Canada tweeting about how he's working out with GSP and whatnot. Rory McDonald. What is this kid up to? What is this working with GSP? Do you know what is Kelvin just is he a superstar now? Like maybe he'll answer your text every now and then. What's happening to this kid?
No, I talk. Kelvin's still a good kid, man. He's, you know, he's still KG. He's still the same guy. His mom, Patty, and his sister Bella, they'll slap that knucklehead upside the head if he tries to get too big for his britches. But yeah, he's up there with GSP. I talked to him. I don't think it was yesterday or the day before. I guess it was the day before because I was still down there in Mexico, and I was kind of conversating with him about how he has such a big following down there, man. The guy's like the freaking Rocky Balboa of Mexico or something. You know, they really love his story and everything. So we were just kind of conversating about that, and then they want us to come back down there for a seminar because wrestling is kind of one of the missing links down there. And Kelvin being, you know, Mexican American, he's kind of a big deal. So we talked about that a little bit, and then he told me he was working with GSP and everybody up there, and we didn't get too much into it, but you know, he was excited. He was definitely excited to be up there. So I'm sure he's in a great place with some great partners, and you know, I'm sure he's going to come back even better than he was before he got there. He's
always better than the last time we saw him, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he just needed to know that was his job now. I'm guessing that is his job now.
Well, you know, Kelvin's undefeated, man, and when you get a young kid like that has that much talent and he's undefeated, you know, he's just going to continue to get that momentum. I mean, he hasn't lost, so he doesn't really, in Kelvin's mind, he can't lose. He's an undefeated fighter. Nobody's ever beat him. He goes out there and handles his business. And, you know, it was kind of really an honor for me to kind of be a part of that early on in his career, watch him kind of grow through the Ultimate Fighter into the fighter he is. You know, the kid has so much confidence, man. And, you know, that confidence in a fight is probably the biggest tool that you can take in there.
I agree.
And he's got that. Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got confidence, but it's like he also there's a difference between confidence and a lack of fear, which he also has. I don't think he's really afraid of getting in there. It's the damnedest thing.
You know, he's such a good kid, man. He knows how to flip the switch, and then he knows when to turn it off. You know, you know, the trick for a guy like Kelvin is just is making sure that he surrounds himself around good people. And if he continues to do that, there's definitely a big future in the UFC for this kid for a long time. I mean, you look at legends like Randy Couture and guys like Dan Henderson that got into this game when they were upwards in their, 30, late 30s or whatever, 30s when they got into it. You look at a guy like Kelvin, and the kid just barely turned 21, just 4 days ago, I think it was. On the 24th, he just turned 21. So, I mean, jeez, man, a kid like that, or maybe was it 22?
I think he's 22 now.
Yeah, 22. Okay, sorry. So he, I mean, it's endless for this kid. He's definitely going to be a future star. He already is. So it's just a matter of, building his audience.
Yep, he definitely already is, and we have to definitely get him back on the show a few more times before he gets a belt, because I honestly believe he's got more than a good chance of being a UFC champion one day. I mean, yeah, it's early to talk about it, but I'm a believer, man. I'm a believer. If you are, then I am too, man. You saw something in this kid. I see it now too, and holy shit, man, I love him. Also, more Team Sonnen. Luke Barnatt, if that's even how you correctly pronounce his last name, taking home a win over Andrew Craig, knocked him out at least half a dozen times before he was like, all right, it's time to choke him out. Coach, did you see the fight? What'd you think?
Man, I didn't. Again, I was down in Mexico. The guys from Fighters Only magazine, Latin America, and Bad Boy Latin America, and then my friend Danny from Luce Pop had me down there doing a big seminar. Maybe we could touch on that after this a little bit. But I was down there for the after party of one of the 2-day tournaments they had down there. So we was doing our thing there, and I didn't get to see the fight. But Chael came into the gym last night. And I worked with Chael a little bit, with Clayton and Chael and myself, and we kind of talked about it. And Chael obviously was in the corner for anybody that saw the fight. And what was kind of funny was he told me Luke won that fight 3 times.
Yeah.
And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, he knocks him down, he celebrates, he did something else and he celebrates. And then finally the 3rd time he finished him, and then he celebrated again, and then I'm sure after the fight he went out somewhere and celebrated again. So Luke's probably partied out by at this point. But he fought a really tough kid, and first guy to finish him. So
no kidding, man.
Congrats to Big Slow, man. It's fun watching these guys. It's fun watching all these guys just continue to to get better and be successful in this sport. So.
Yeah, it was crazy.
He's another one. He's undefeated. Him and Kelvin are both the undefeated guys on the Team Dark Side. These guys have never lost a fight in their professional MMA career. So, oh no, I'm sorry. Luke did.
During Tough though, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't think that one went on his record. So
no, it's just an exhibition.
Okay. Yeah. So he's an undefeated fighter. So. Yeah, it'd be fun to watch these guys continue to go out there and do what they do.
Damn, I should know this. Who beat Luke? Was it Dylan?
He had the fight of the season with Dylan Andrews.
Yeah, Dylan.
It was a dog fight.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, Luke just needed to use his jab a little bit more to try to keep Dylan at bay. But Dylan is such a relentless guy. He just continued the pressure. That was a fun show because that was actually the same night Mike Tyson came in.
Oh,
and then
nice.
after the fight, Mike took us all over and kind of talked to Luke about what it takes to be a fighter, and it was really a cool experience. I mean, his fight with Dylan was definitely the most competitive fight of the whole season, and that's obviously he got the honors for it from Dana. So didn't that fight Luke Barnatt versus Dylan Andrews? Didn't that actually get a bonus for being fight of the season? Didn't he get a couple grand or something? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he I want to say it was 35,000.
Something crazy, right?
Yeah, there's knockout of the season. Sub of the season, and obviously so it was just like a regular UFC card. These guys were getting the bonuses for everything. So
Yeah.
obviously Uriah got it for the spinning back kick, and then I think Sub might have went to Kelvin for Josh Salmon, maybe. I can't remember.
And also a little more trivia. Zach Cummings scored the fastest knockout in tough history. By the way, don't forget that.
Yeah, and then went over and finished his guy in Indiana in the first round at 170 pounds. So Zach's another guy, man. He's another. I was proud of our team, man. We got some gamers on here.
Yep.
Yeah, Zach's got another fight coming up soon.
Who's he fighting?
Yeah.
I don't even remember who he's fighting.
I don't remember, but it's coming up in the next couple of months.
Oh, I also noticed they
Fighting
put
Sergio Moraes.
Moraes. Okay. Well,
That's a tough fight too.
nah, no way, man. Easy, man. Zach's tough, dude.
You go look at Zach's record, and Zach is already kind of a veteran, even though he's coming off the show into the UFC. I mean, the guy fought Tim Kennedy. He's fought under Bellator. He's fought. Zach is, out of everybody on our team, Zach had the heaviest hands. There was no question. And Zach is a great wrestler. He had the heaviest hands. That kid hit so hard.
He's got those lumberjack body.
Yeah, you felt it on the mitts, man. When that guy made contact to the target, it was something was going to give.
Damn. Also, I noticed, speaking of upcoming Tough 17 alumni, two Team Jones fighters are going to fight. Dylan Andrews is going to fight, I forget who the hell it is.
I think Clint
Hester. That's right. Yeah, Hester versus Dylan Andrews. I thought that was odd that they made that fight.
Yeah, I kind of did too. But I mean, it's UFC. Your team is the guys that are in the corner. But if you're in the same weight class, I mean, it is what it is.
Yep. Well, I'm definitely going to have a nice salmon dinner after this podcast. Watch the Luke Barnatt versus Dylan Andrews fight again. It was a damn good one. I suggest everyone do the same. But, Coach, of course, Chael Sonnen is going to coach the Ultimate Fighter Brazil newest season versus Wanderlei Silva. You may or may not be part of the coaching staff again. It has yet to be revealed. Hopefully you'll break that news here on the show whenever you can confirm or officially deny. But, you're going to be, if you do go along with it, second time around, you'll be in Brazil, strange territory. You won't really know much of the language, is what we've gathered. You don't speak too much Portuguese, but you did spend maybe past week in Mexico. How did your boxing seminar go down there? Tell us all about it, man. I want to know what it was like. Just like, just being the white boxer from Oregon, just showing up there, and did you get around? Were you holed up in a hotel room, fearing for your life? What happened, man? Did you get robbed?
No, ironically, I was a little concerned about going down to Mexico City, because obviously you hear things, and you all the stuff that's going on in Juarez and Tijuana, but Mexico City, man, was such a beautiful place, and it was friendly, and I didn't feel threatened, not a single time I was down there. The guys from Bad Boy and Fighters Only magazine and Luce Pop, promoter down there, these guys just took me in, man, took care of me. I stayed at a nice hotel downtown Mexico City. And did my seminar on Thursday night. Had a great turnout. Some of the obviously I don't know a lot about Lucha Libre, the Mexican wrestling guys down there, but I took a picture with a bunch of guys with the traditional Lucha Libre masks and whatnot, and one of them was I'm gonna forget this guy's name. something Tiger. But I guess he's like one of the most popular wrestlers in the whole country of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And there were several guys in there that were all pretty big wrestlers that somebody that follows the sport down there would obviously know. Then I had a handful of guys that amateur and professional. I had a couple girls in there that were just gamers, man. I'm going to be calling Shannon Knapp here sometime shortly as these girls develop, because they were just tough, man. I mean, their technique was solid. And, if anybody that knows anything about boxing is, the great champions of Mexico, it's like, boy, they're just tough, man. Tough as nails. They had a 2-day tournament down there. They'd fight 2-3 times a day to advance to this tournament. And nice. They're just gamers, man. They show up and they fight, So it was the seminar was awesome. The whole experience was great. The guys took care of me down there. And they want to definitely have me back. They want to have Kelvin come down there. Uriah, any of the Team Darkside guys come down there and help me do a seminar.
I was going to ask, would you do it again?
Absolutely, in a minute.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple other things pending right now. I'm trying to make sure that I don't commit too much. I'm trying to get Liz on the Invicta card in January. Talk to Shannon.
Nice.
No opponent to be named, but appreciate everybody that support her out there and retweet and stuff, because we're trying to get her on that card. Got a couple other fighters here that I'm working with. So I'm just kind of staying busy, and obviously I'm keeping my schedule open for some other stuff that's out there pending. So no date of when I'm going to go back down there, but I tell you what, man, I had a great time, and I can't wait to go back and do it again.
All right. Well, it's nice that you're sharing your expertise with Mexico. Well, what about the U.S., Coach? We have Yao the Truth on the Word in the Street podcast here. Yao from Queens, New York. You're on with, of course, the living legend, Jamie Huey. What do you got to say?
What's up, Yao?
What's up, Coach? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good.
How's
good.
Queens?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, good, man.
I have a question. Can you do a seminar in New York City?
Absolutely. Yeah, set it up. Had my email is on my Twitter page. So anybody that wants to get a hold of me for stuff like that, I'd love to.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
So if you would come to any gym and host a seminar, or how would it work?
Yeah, just get a hold of me. We'll kind of run the particulars down. I'm really not an expensive guy. So we could definitely talk about that type of stuff. But just get a hold of me, man, on my email, or tweet me, DM, and we could definitely set something up. No problems. I've got friends over there, obviously. Jennifer Bongine, that's been on the show, and my buddy Arshay Cooper and Uriah. When he's not down there with Mark Vino, so I've got plenty of friends over on that side of the country. So I'd love to, man. Anytime.
Cool. Thanks.
Anytime.
Awesome. I think Yao's actually training up at Renzo Gracie's up there, right? You got more than one gym, Yao? Just tell him, look, just walk in there and be like, look, the living legend's going to show up on this day. You're going to pay him this much. End of the fucking story. That's it.
Yes,
Sold
sir.
out. Sold out, people. Coach, once again, thank you for your time, as always. Any updates on Tough Brazil? I was thinking about this. We were kind of talking about it. We used to do the Tough Tuesdays. It was Tuesdays after Tough podcast. But will Tough, this new season of Tough, is it going to air on Tuesdays? Is it going to be on Wednesdays? Does anybody know the Tough Brazil schedule from last season? What day would that air? We're trying to figure out what day this damn show is going to be on.
They're trying to find a TV deal, I think.
So it's to be decided still.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was web streamed last time.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't got any information on it. Me and Chael have talked about it, and there's no date set as far as where the filming, when it starts, where it starts. There's a lot of rumors going around that it was going to be, Brazil versus Brazil. Now there's some other things floating around where it's going to be USA versus Brazil, but film it in Brazil, which honestly makes sense to me. Because, if it's in Brazil, if we're in Brazil, I don't speak Portuguese if I did go. So what are you going to have, like a bunch of, like, you're going to have a bunch of subtitles? Who wants to read subtitles? So, if you have a USA versus Brazil, maybe you got to read some subtitles half the time for one audience and half the time for the other audience. But, if it was all in Portuguese, man, you imagine how many people over on this side of the world are going to be upset if it's not an opportunity to watch this show.
Yeah.
Where they're going to go to YouTube and catch a little clip here, catch a little clip there. Really, that's what they had to do in Mexico for. I was talking to my buddy down there. He said, he goes, for Tough 17. He goes, I never missed an episode. He goes, but I had to go online and I had to find the streams all the time. I had to find a YouTube clip or this or that. He goes, because obviously it wasn't being shown down there. So something as big as Chael against Wanderlei Silva. Can you imagine if that doesn't get to the U.S. market? People be in an uproar.
Yeah, there's no way.
So there's a lot of, I think there's still a lot of particulars that they're going to have to figure out on that happening. But it really could be big for ratings if they do it right.
Yeah, my guess is, of course, it's going to be on Fox Sports 1. Probably not on the same day as Tough, what's it going to be, 19, Tough Season 19. Probably not on the same day, but whatever day it does land on, I think we're going to move the podcast to that day. We'll just see what happens, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, apparently it's going to take place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And you've never been, right, Coach?
No.
All right. Well, I'll do some research. I'll make some contacts, man. I gotta make sure. Like in Mexico, for instance, how the food situation, man. Did you eat some good food, some good seafood, or did you have a horrible experience?
Oh no, man! I ate like a fat pig down there. The food's so good. I ate as much ceviche as I could eat.
Oh my god!
It's my favorite food. And then
that would kill me.
They got a beer called Indio down there, and that was good.
Oh yeah.
It was, man. You walk down the street and there'd be a lady with a little grill right there, and making tortillas, and she got her chicken and carnitas and steak and peppers and everything, and you just sit down. And so I sit down with my buddy and I go, well, what should I order? And he goes, well, what do you want? I go, I don't know, maybe some chicken tacos. He goes, all right. And so I'm thinking, it's like America. You sit down, you order a plate of food, but he goes, just make one, and if you're still hungry, order another one, and you know what I mean, just keep eating until you're full. Right. And it was kind of interesting, because here in the States, you order a food and they bring you a big plate of something, and you can barely eat it all because you're stuffed. At least you kind of felt down there, you kind of ate until you weren't hungry. But me, being down there for the first time, kind of walking around and I just kept eating. It was so goddamn good. So it was great, man. Great experience. And MMA is really, really growing down there. I'm excited for guys like, Eric Perez and Cain Vasquez and Kelvin. These guys really get a great opportunity to grow the sport in that country if it's done right. And there's a lot of some of the greatest fighters of all time have come out of Mexico in regards to boxing. So I think it's only about time that they start looking down south of the border at some of the talent, because there's really, there's really some high level.
And you were saying you you were saying the place was the gyms were packed.
Yeah, there's a gym called Bone Breakers, and Bone Breakers, my understanding, is kind of the big gym down there. I mean, the one I was at was really good size. I mean, that gym in particular was bigger. It was bigger than Rain. It was bigger than One MMA. It was bigger. Yeah, I mean, it was a big setup. They had a boxing ring downstairs. They had, for the fights, they had 3 cages going at the same time, plenty of mat space.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really packed down there. But Bone Breakers, I think, has got 8 or 10 different locations throughout Mexico City and maybe Guadalajara or a couple other places. They've got them. So MMA is very, very big down there. You know, I think the next piece of that is maybe do a Ultimate Fighter, Mexico versus Puerto Rico, the great rivalries like it was in boxing.
Yeah.
Or maybe do a UFC fight night down there or something. Because, really in order for the guys that are in the forefront of growing the sport down there, I think they're going to need a little bit more, support from some of the UFC. But I know they're passionate about it and they're willing to work hard for it. So just a matter of facilitating some of that into happening.
You're damn right. They got their Mexican champion solidified now. Cain Velasquez, they're ready to go in there. It's going to be the big push in 2014, I'm guessing, Mexico. But good thing, too, though. I'm not making any... I'm not going to hide it. I'm Hispanic, people. That's why do you think I've had KG on the most on this show? You know what I'm saying? Kelvin, shout out, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take over one day. No offense to you white people.
It's okay.
Sorry. I know it's okay. You don't have to tell me that, Jake.
It's okay.
You'll be working for me soon. Anyway, no, but Coach, it was one more question about Mexico. Damn it. That's the problem with my habit.
What did the water taste like?
Oh, hopefully you didn't drink the water. Oh, you got to do bottled water in Mexico and Brazil, or at least in Brazil. Promise me you'll do only bottled water, Coach.
Oh yeah, I didn't drink any. I didn't even brush my teeth with tap water in Mexico.
Oh, yeah,
no, it'd definitely be bottled water from here on out when it comes to some of those countries for sure.
I remember what I was going to ask. I have a theory that anybody that goes to Mexico as a visitor can't leave without at some point being forced to, or just doing it on their own accord, just dancing. At any point, Coach, did you dance during this trip to Mexico?
No. There was a big party after the they call it SICK is the name of the it's abbreviated for something for the big fight that they had down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a band and DJs and all that stuff. But no, for me, I mean, not really. No, I didn't dance. I just kind of hung out and talked to some friends and had a good time. But it's definitely a very dance-friendly place if that's what somebody likes to do. There's a lot of it going on.
Well, I know in Brazil, man, the women are going to be tempting you left and right. You're not going to know who to trust. You're not going to know which ones have been sent over from Wanderlei's camp. You got to be careful. You're crazy.
Man. I'm not going outside. There's no way. If I end up over in Brazil, I have honestly, I'm kidding a little bit, but I have no idea how that works over there as far as the security goes.
Yeah.
I know Chael's got a lot of fans over in Brazil. We joke about stuff, but there's always those extreme, crazy people. I don't know. Maybe there's a couple of Jason Mayhem Millers in Brazil or something. So it's definitely we're going to be taking some precautions when we go over there if that's what ends up happening. So yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not looking for a girlfriend. That's for sure.
Damn.
Not over there.
Hell yeah. Well, good, man. Thanks for the update. As always, yeah, I've taken up a lot of your time, more than I was meaning to. But Coach, thank you once again for coming on the Word on the Street podcast. Anything else you want to get out there? Where can the people contact you and reach you, follow you?
At Coach Jamie Huey. You can follow me on Twitter. I got my guy Andy supposed to be fixing my website this week. www.coachjamiehuey.com. There is a video up, but he's still working on it. And then you hit me on DM on Twitter or my email. As far as bookings and stuff, Amber Matthews is handling a lot of that stuff. She's got me set up with a bunch of things. So she's obviously somebody else you can reach out to. So other than that, yeah, man, I'm not hard to find. I'm a very approachable guy. So I try to answer my Twitter when people reach out to me.
He is the best in the business, the living legend himself, Coach Jamie Huey. We will talk to you again, hopefully in a week. Let us know. But yeah, man, thanks again for all your time, dude. Can't
Anytime,
say
guys.
it.
I appreciate it. I always have fun talking to you guys, man. So, there's always a good time. This is kind of hanging out with buddies and doing what we enjoy doing, talking about the fight game.
Always, man. Coach Jamie Huey, we will see you next week. Get some sleep, get some rest. It's late over there for you. But yeah, man, again, in case I haven't said it enough, thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate the support, everything. And Ramses, you're a great host on here, and Jake and everybody else that contributes to the whole experience of this. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad it all kind of, after the show, this all kind of materialized and came together. And, regardless if we have 10 billion people listening or if we have 10, it's always a good time, man. So you guys take care.
You too, man. We will see you, and yep, goodbye, Coach.
Night, guys.
Later. There he goes, Coach Jamie, the living legend Huey, getting ready for some big things. I'm pretty sure he's going to Brazil, people. I mean, I'm not saying anything official, of course, but I'm pretty sure he'll be there. Why wouldn't he be? Ross, Jake, Alan, Yao. You people are up to some shenanigans here behind the scenes. I can see this.
As always.
Yeah, I really can't even go into it right now.
Probably best you don't.
Yes. I wouldn't even know where to start. Nobody would believe me. All right. But you guys can continue. Well, we'll have a few quick topics before we wrap up the entire show. That's right, people. It's a short show. One, on this podcast, I did want to hear a little bit, because I'm not a believer that Lyoto Machida knocked out Mark Munoz with that head kick. I'm not a believer, people, and this is the Word on the Street podcast. So let me just throw out a few questions here. I mean, all of you, without a question, you bought that knockout head kick. Is there anybody that doubted it? I'll just start off that way.
Nope.
So y'all thought that was real, huh?
Not completely.
Yeah, what do you think, man? Have you ever, I mean, I don't know, have you ever been kicked in the head? Have you been kicked in the head through a glove? Like, what did you think of this fight? Well, the finish overall.
Well, I mean, the finish was spectacular. I mean, Lyoto really, really went after that kick. You can see it in his hips and everything, the way he torqued on the kick. But the way Mark Munoz fell was a little,
It was like a dude that was like falling, like with
it was like
he was rolling with the kick.
It was like he got kicked and he was like, "Oh well, I got kicked. Let's just fall asleep." Like, I don't know, it was weird. And I never doubt the word on the street.
That's right. All right. So we got one vote for maybe he rolled with it and wanted to just quit, saw his way out. I mean, it might have disoriented him, but knocked out that way, like a dead, falling over like a fucking tree. I don't know. I just want to. I did have, he had to I had a physicist booked from the University of Texas here in Austin. He was going to come on and explain exactly why Machida's kick could not have possibly had enough kinetic energy and force behind it to transfer through Mark Munoz, blocking it with his gloved hand, to have enough reverberation through his skull or his to knock him unconscious. He couldn't have been that rattled through the glove going up to block it. I had a physicist. He was going to explain everything. Unfortunately, he got called away. He has to perform emergency brain surgery right now at Cedars, downtown, the hospital downtown.
Cedars-Sinai.
Yeah, but then I was like, that's too hack. I should just say downtown Austin Hospital. So that's where that's what happened, and I apologize. But let me explain it to you people. I'll do the test anytime. Any one of you wants to try to kick me in the head, and I'm going to be blocking it with my hand up in a glove. What is it? A 4-ounce glove? 5, 6?
It's a 4-ounce glove.
All right.
And actually, we can't kick you because we're not Lyoto. We don't have the power of Machida. We can't kick
he's
like
magical,
Machida.
huh?
No, he's a professional fighter who's been kicking for his entire life, and we haven't. So he's a former UFC champion who probably could break like a big block of wood in half with one of his kicks. He could definitely break a baseball bat with one of his kicks. So it's more accurate if one of us takes a baseball bat and smashes you in the skull with it, and then we could see.
Listen to me, people.
I mean, he probably couldn't get that much kinetic energy or whatever the fuck you were saying.
I'm trying to see you. See, that's you guys are the ones stretching reality here. You guys are saying a kick from Lyoto Machida is the equivalent of being hit by a baseball bat. Yeah, it sounds cool when Rogan says it, but that is nowhere near the actual truth. The force with a baseball bat to a kick is not even. You can't even compare them. You cannot. I'm sorry. Because, I mean, like, if I have Jesus Christ. All right.
You're right.
What I'm saying is, imagine swinging a baseball bat at somebody's head, but, they're going to have a gloved hand up blocking it. Let's say that's the pretense here. Even that, you would have to, you would have to swing that bat with incredible force, like home run force, and you can't do that with a kick. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
So you're arguing that head kick knockouts are impossible
through the type a glancing one off the top
through 4 ounces of padding. That's an impenetrable force. You put up your hand when you're getting socked in the head with a baseball bat. It's really gonna matter. 4 ounces of padding really matters.
Wait, one thing real quick, Alan, before I let you. But wait, Alan, real quick. It's not just the 4-ounce glove. It's also the meat in his hand, and it's the bones in his hand that kick has to go through.
So like a 4,
and
so like 3 centimeters of hand,
Alan,
like 3 or 4 centimeters.
All right. I'm gonna set the record straight. Tomorrow, me and Hiro Shinwoo, my brother, will demonstrate
a demonstration.
And we will replicate the Machida Munoz knockout theory.
Yes.
We will determine whether or not the word on the street, Ramses, is correct, and the fact that you would have to break a hand in order to knock him out.
You're going to hit him with a baseball bat?
You're going to knock your brother out?
No, I'm going to let him kick me. I'm going to pull Mark Munoz's, position, and I'm going to play his character, and I'm going to let my brother take Machida's role, and we're going to roll with it, and we're going to test it out.
And he's going to kick it like...
We'll have video...
Gonna knock you out, is what you're saying.
He does your brother kick as hard as Lyoto Machida? I don't know.
Are you crazy?
Well, they're both roughly
pretty
in
hard.
comparison. They're both the same. Like You know what I mean? They're just down maybe 2 weight classes, I'm guessing.
That's like me saying I'll punch Ross to see if he could survive a Mike Tyson uppercut. Like,
well, actually, yeah, but see,
the answer is yes. By the way,
y'all are missing the point that I'm no Mark Munoz, and my brother's no Machida, so we're both levels below. So it evens out to be the same.
That's what I'm saying, man. They're both just the same, roughly the same size. I know Alan and his brother are roughly the same size and equivalent to each other. I mean, roughly. Yeah, man.
He's a little taller than me.
Yeah, man. Look, you had that gloved hand up protecting you, and then he's gonna throw one just at the top of your gloved hand, just boom. And yeah, I'll be dead. There's no way in hell you're getting knocked out. There's no way, man.
Well, we'll find out.
People like you are why NASA is no longer funded, Ramses.
No, people like you are the ones making up
people
fantasies
like
about
Barack
physics.
Obama.
You're denying the laws of physics here. You're laughing at space travel, and I'm giving you the facts here. Telling you, there's no way. Look, bottom line, I'm not saying the fight was rigged. I'm saying Mark Munoz, as soon as he saw a way to just get out of that fight, he took it. He took a dive. All right, he overplayed the knockout. He did. There's no way it knocked him out cold. And plus, he was back awake by the time he landed. In case you didn't notice, I think I'm right here, people.
And he's already back in the gym training.
Oh God, no! He needs to retire. Actually,
he's back in the gym training.
Anybody else, like, if he did really get knocked out that easy, I think he needs to retire. Like I said, does anybody else agree or disagree? I mean, this guy's done, right?
I agree.
I don't think he needs to retire, but I think waiting to book his next fight until next summer would probably help his case.
Well, waiting to book his fight until next summer. First, the guy, all right, before his fight with Boach, he was out for a year. And he comes back, he fights twice this year, gets brutally knocked out. This is the third time he's been brutally knocked out. Matt Hamill put his lights out brutally with a head kick. Chris Weidman put his lights out brutally with that elbow. And now Machida put his lights out with a head kick. So that's 3 knockouts. The guy is 35 years old, 36 years old. He's not a young guy. And at this point in his career, he's never going to fight for the world title. It's pretty evident. He can't get past the really elite of the division. He can beat most guys, but he can't get past the very, very elite of the division. Machida, Weidman, Anderson, those guys. So there's no point really in him fighting anymore. He's a great coach. Everyone who works with him praises him. He does the head coaching spot over at Reign. He does the wrestling class, and he's fantastic. Everyone praises him. A lot of people say Mark Munoz is a better coach than he is a fighter, and I'm inclined to agree. I think coaching is where he belongs now. He's done a lot for the sport. He's fought in a lot of great fights. He's got a lot of memories in the sport, but he's never going to get that world title. And at his age, to continue doing it after being knocked out 3 times like that, even though they're spaced out, well, the last 2 not really. They're kind of in between, but the other one years ago, it doesn't matter. He's still been brutally knocked out 3 times. He's still 35, 36 years old. He has nothing really left in the tank. He's got nothing to prove. I say retire and start coaching full time.
I would have to agree with Ross here, man. Mark Munoz, yes, you are a warrior. I know they're going to have to drag you away from fighting, and you're going to feel a little hit to your pride there, but man, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to tell this guy. There's nothing left to prove at some point as a fighter. I do respect him. But I'm just saying, and I do honestly believe, anybody listening, that he did exaggerate and just honestly just decide to take the drop out of the fight when Machida kicked him in the head. All right, he was done. He was like, all right, I'm just going to get paid and get out of here. Smart decision, but I hope that that's the last time he actually puts his health on the line. I mean, he's made his mark on the sport. So God bless him, I guess, if you believe in that. 2 more topics before we end tonight. Randomly, Jake from the MMA podcast. The topic is whatever happened to Steven Seagal. Off the top of your head, when was the last time you heard about Steven Seagal doing something MMA related? Has he even surfaced at any point this year? I was trying to think of it.
I think the last time was when he was on Ariel's show talking about like fighting Randy Couture in the dojo behind closed doors.
All right, with no witnesses.
Yep.
I'll fight you if there's no fucking witnesses. That was meant to sound tough, but like you can see through the bullshit. It's like
exactly.
After thinking about it for a second. Like, wait, you don't want to see you don't want anybody to see you get your ass kicked.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see someone else make him poop his pants.
Officer Allen, what the fuck happened to Steven Seagal? He's a lawman over there, and isn't it Louisiana that he's a lawman?
No, that dude just comes down here and trains every once in a while and gets a paycheck because his movies only bring in about $50 a year.
God bless. I paid like 2 of those dollars. I saw that piece of shit movie that he did it was earlier this year with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't remember the name of it. They were like SWAT commanders or something.
Yeah, Maximum Force or
something like that.
Generic.
Yeah, it was Maximum something. I don't know. Pretty terrible movie, but of course I was only going into it for the laughs, and in that way, like, it was guaranteed and it paid off. If that's your thing, we'll be doing a whole show dedicated to MMA, horrible MMA movies, mixed martial arts disasters on film. That's upcoming soon. I'm just putting together a couple critics, you know what I'm saying? Ross, what is your overall opinion on Steven Seagal? Is he legit, or is he full of shit?
Why are we talking about Steven Seagal?
Well, because he is a mixed martial arts master in his own right. He's the crown king of whatever that slapping technique is called. Trapping hands.
Pathetic.
Aikido.
No, Aikido, that's what it is, man. All right, so you're not a believer, Ross, is what I'm taking away.
Steven Seagal, no.
Yeah, do you have any opinion whatsoever on Mr. Steven Seagal? He was one of my action heroes back in the day, but you're probably too young back then, man.
Like on where he is, or just an opinion in general?
Anything you have to say about the man Steven Seagal. When you hear or read that name, what comes to mind?
Those glasses that he wears.
The sharpshooters?
Yeah, that's the first thing I think of, honestly.
I forgot about those, man. There's some dude at work that would, like, always wear them. Like, it was like some sort of computer glasses. Anyway, never mind, people. Last topic on the word on the street. I wanted to put a little feeler out. The end of the year is approaching. The year 2000 and Chael is going to come to an end, and sooner or later, before you know it, it's going to be the year 2000 and Chael. Holy shit. Came quick. But if you had to call it right now, the end of the year MMA awards, best fight of the year so far, if you had to call it right now, the best MMA fight of the year 2013.
It's really close. I loved the shit out of Sanchez versus Melendez, but I think just because of the title significance and the significance of Jones just being this absolute monster, and this guy that everybody was counting out steps in there and gets in a dog fight with him, I think I got to go with Jones Gustafsson.
Yeah, what do you think was the best fight of the year so far, if you had to vote right now off the top of your head?
I gotta go with, I don't even remember the first part of the year. I don't even know what fights happened. So off the top of my head right now, I got to say Jones Gustafson.
Officer Allen, what about you, man? If you had to just cast your vote, best fight of 2013 so far?
The best fight would have to be Chael versus Shogun, only because I was there and it was enthralling. It was amazing. It was encompassing. I mean, the atmosphere, it was crazy. A close second would be Jones Gustafson, just because I knew it was going to be a closer fight than everybody else did. And I thought, I called Gustafson winning going into the fight. And, it turned out just how I expected. It was a close fight. It was awesome. But, yeah, I go with Chael and Shogun.
It was okay, but Ross, saved you for last because I suspect I know what your answer will be. What was the best fight of the year 2013 in your opinion, Ross Finkelstein?
There were a lot of really, really good fights this year. And, I mean, we've had some incredible moments between Jones Gustafson. We had Weidman Silva. We saw the fight a few weeks ago with Sanchez and Melendez. But the best fight this entire year was UFC 164, Ben Rothwell versus Brandon Vera.
What? What?
Ben Rothwell, the greatest fighter of all time.
Legend.
Fedor 2.0.
Listen, you had Brandon Vera go into that fight all motivated, the new phenom, and Ben Rothwell needing to prove something, coming off that loss to Gonzaga and just being in a bad position. And he really needed to prove something, and he was getting beat up for 2 rounds, and then he comes back in the third, and he goes insane. He starts going all Anderson. So that is the greatest comeback in UFC history, the greatest fight ever. I don't even know what to say, dude. It was beautiful. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Hey, this guy trolling? I can't even tell, man.
Greatest of all time. What are you talking about?
Trolling, man. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Honestly, I don't even remember that fight. I don't remember. Didn't they cut both of them after it?
Rothwell's a future
Never.
UFC champ, son. They know better not than to not cut the biggest or the second biggest pay-per-view draw in UFC history behind Mr. Sonnen.
They had to suspend him for 9 months for being so damn awesome.
Yep. The footwork of Rothwell. I remember that being impressive. It could cut through diamonds, whatever that means. My best fight of the year 2013, I thought it was going to be yours, Ross. I thought you were going to pick Silva versus Weidman. Anderson Silva getting knocked the fuck out by Chris Weidman, who is the new champion. In my opinion, that was the best fight so far, just because no other fight left you rattled like that one did, man. Can't you guys all remember how you felt seeing that happen? The shock.
Yo,
What
Ramses.
other fight gave that to you?
Yo, Ramses. What you think about Silva Weidman? You think that shit was a work? Yay!
I think. I mean, I saw the fight, and Silva was so was Weidman.
Al.
And he's stroking out.
And he's stroking out like he was last night.
Oh God! But yeah, definitely best fight of 2013, in my opinion, was Chris Weidman and Anderson Silva reenacting the Nas commercial with the Capoeira guy. Good fight. Worst fight of the year. Think about that, guys. Worst absolute dog shit fight of the year 2013. Does anybody have any nominations?
Easy. Soa Palele versus Nikita Krylov. I legitimately thought about killing myself after I watched that.
Was that where it was they're two heavyweights and they just went the distance and they tried to make it look like a Rocky movie, but they're both really fat.
It's like kind of when you see a 2 or 3 year old with like with like a toy car and they're picking it up and putting it down. That's sort of like the punches that Palele was landing from the top.
God.
With broken ribs.
Oh, that's right. They all made up stories or whatever after or during the fight. He just tried to make it a war. He was just like slumped in the corner. Mickey's tending to him. He's like, my ribs broke in. And it was a war in their minds, but the crowd was booing. People were turning the damn channel. That was a bad fight. That was the one I was trying to think of, actually. Any other nominations for worst fight of 2013?
Yes.
What's up? What's up, Yao?
Gilbert Melendez versus Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, the fight didn't do anything for you?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There was never a point where I jumped up or blinked or said wow or jumped or nothing.
Yep. It was a total jab fest.
And I know it sounds cliche, but I almost fell asleep.
Damn. Almost, man.
Well, you need to stop doing all that GHB when you watch the UFCs, yo.
That's right, man. It's fucking PCS.
The reason he's competing in grappling tournaments is because they don't drug test at them.
That is a fact. They do not. Yeah, aren't you ever worried, Yao, that like other people are doing drugs? That like murder drugs?
Murder drugs?
Yeah, like they're gonna get so roided up that, you know, they just kill you?
No. Actually, bring it on. Take all the drugs you want.
That's right. That's right.
Because Yao's doing them too.
Yeah, Yao's got the better supplier. That's the bottom line. He's got the better shit, man. Pure shit. George Jung shit. We did worst. Oh wait, any other nominations for worst fight of 2013? Before we wrap up. What's up, Alan?
Melvin Gillard and Ross Pearson.
That's true. Yeah, what the fuck happened to Melvin Gillard, man? What is
Dirty
he?
cheater, son
now?
of a bitch.
Yeah,
No,
break down this fight for us. By the way, for anybody listening, Yao the Truth here, amateur fighter out of Queens, New York, frequent guest co-host on this show. He is one of the biggest Melvin Gillard fans on the planet. He's a big believer. I'm not even making this shit up. I'm not even trolling. So, Yao, what did you think of this stinker of a fight? A disappointment all around.
Well, it wasn't a disappointment, and it wasn't a stinker. Melvin was controlling the fight. And look, he just wants to finish people. He just wants to knock people out, get his check, and go home. People are like making him the bad guy when he's just trying to do his job and do it exciting. You know what I'm saying? So he goes for the knee. Okay, he needs the guy. I don't even think either knee was illegal. The first knee hit the face, and then the second knee, it hits like the chest or throat area, which is legal, but whatever. He's just trying to do his job, knock the guy out, get his check, and go home. Both his checks. His bonus check and his win money. But he'll be back. He's not waiting until March, though. I know that. He's going to fight at least 2 more times before March. And you'll see. You'll see.
Suck his dick, come on.
Melvin Gillard looks like Wesley Snipes in the movie Demolition Man. Jake, absolute last topic. Bring us into this one, man. UFC 169, some of the card has been finalized. Break it down, break down the news that was revealed to the plebeians, the maggot populace today. What's up?
You maggots. Yeah, today UFC 169, which is going to be February 1st in Newark, New Jersey. It's the Super Bowl card. It was at first rumored that maybe Jones Gustafson would be on this card, but it's obviously not. Or sorry, Jones Glover would be on this card, but it's not. Instead, we're going to see Frank Mir Overeem, which has been brought from the UFC 167 card, and we're going to see 2 title fights. We're going to see Jose Aldo defend the featherweight strap against Ricardo Lamas, and finally, we're going to see the unification of the bantamweight belt, Dominic Cruz versus Renan Barão.
Dominic Cruz versus Renan Barão. Why does it feel like Cruz is not walking into this as the defending champion? Well, he's been out of the game for, 2 years? But, I mean, at this point, shit. maybe one of you can answer. Who walks out first? Who is the real champion at the moment?
What's up? The real champion, it's Renan Barão. Dominic Cruz hasn't fought since 2011. October 1st, 2011 is the last time he stepped into the octagon. He fought Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius Johnson has fought 4 times since that night. So to say that he's the champion of a division he hasn't fought in 2 years, he's not the champion. I mean, he was the champion, but another guy came along, defended the belt more than he has, or equally as many times as he has. He's got more UFC title fights. He's got more UFC fights. He's got an unbelievable record. He's beaten everybody that Cruz has beaten, and he's done it more impressively. The true champion is Renan Barão, and you're right. It does feel like Dominic Cruz is the challenger going into this fight.
Ross doesn't know what he's talking about. The question was, who walks out first? Renan Barão walks out first. He gets the blue tape on his wrist. And, yeah.
Are you just speculating, or is that actually how it works in interim? Well, is it even an interim? I mean, it's all just semantics, this whole fucking thing.
It's a unification fight.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just look at George St. Pierre when he fought Carlos Condit. It'll be the same way. Not the fight, but the walkout and everything.
All right, you guys think it'll be unification? To me, this is going to be a formality. Who you got, Ross?
I got Barão. I think Cruz has he's fallen from grace to be out that long, to go through multiple knee surgeries, multiple ACL replacements, and to try and come back and in your first fight one of the top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. It's spelling disaster for him, and I think he gets finished.
Yeah, what do you think? Who do you got on this one, man? Cruz, Barão.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. I'm gonna open.
Is this a straight shoot, or is this a work? Like, is it really like, there's 3 types of works. Is this a straight shoot, or is this gonna be worked?
Like I said, in my opinion, this fight will be a formality. I don't really believe that Cruz is going to be fully rehabilitated. He'll obviously, it would be something beyond a miracle for him to ever return to 100%. I think the UFC knows that what they have to do is just get Cruz in good enough shape to get back in the cage one more time, put on a good show, get one last paycheck, turn over the belt the way it's supposed to be. And Barão knows it. He's not going to go out there trying to kill Dominic Cruz. They're going to tell him not to hurt the kid. What? This fight will not even, I don't believe it'll be competitive at all unless Cruz decides to risk, his whole damn body and knee again, just trying to prove something to himself. And he's not going to be able to prove it. I hope he just kind of gets in there. We see a little flashy sparring, and Cruz, no pun intended, just takes a knee and gets the hell out of there.
So basically, they're just going to tell him to lay down.
Yep. I mean, Barão's going to go easy on the kid. They're going to tell Cruz what the deal is. I mean, I'm sure he's not an idiot. He's playing the game. He's doing the sports commentating thing. He knows the reality of his injury by now. He knows he's not going to come back and be the damn champion. He's had a while to think about that and realize that. So yeah, unless we see some sort of scripted movie miracle, Barão is going to wipe the floor with this kid, make it look like a clinic. Honestly, the ref's going to have to stop this fight out of pity. That's my prediction. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I'm sort of joining in. I don't think it'll be a massacre, but I think that because Cruz is so dependent on his footwork, I'm not saying he's done, but coming off of 2 knee surgeries on the same knee, he's been out for so long. I don't think his footwork's going to be near as crisp as it needs to beat Barão, so I got Barão winning.
Alan, hopefully you're back. Don't know what's going on with your connection, son. Cruz versus Barão. Who do you got?
First off, can you hear me?
sort of. You're doing the robot thing, so. But don't worry. Cruz versus Barao. If you start to trail off, we'll just kind of cut you off, and you'll figure it out. I don't know.
Dominic Cruz dies.
You're predicting death, huh? Oh yeah, I just wanted to bring up it was funny. I was laughing about it just at an inappropriate time in a meeting today at work. Yesterday we were talking about Colton Smith cutting weight to go down to a 155 or something, and he's fighting what's his face, Michael Cheeser. Oh wait, no, Donald Cerrone cutting down to 155. And Alan was talking about. Alan gave out a theory that Donald Cerrone has a death wish and he's trying to commit suicide, but he doesn't have the balls to kill himself, so he's making this horrendous weight cut. Man, that's again, Donald Cerrone. He was done gatekeeper after Pettis got done with him. Man, sad sight to see. But yeah, Cruz versus Barao. I think everybody's got Barao. Nobody here appears to believe in Dominic Cruz. And does anybody know what the odds are on this fight? It's got to be horrendous. I mean, if it's at least 5-1 here on this podcast alone.
I would set. I don't think there are any odds out yet. I don't think anyone's set any. But thinking about it, just throwing everything together. If Cruz fought him like without any injury in between or anything like that, like he fought him just immediately after he won like the belt, then Cruz would go in the favorite. He would go in a very small favorite. He would go in probably minus 150. Barao probably something like plus 125. Right now, I would set the odds with Barao at minus 175 and Cruz something like plus 150.
That's still pretty damn close, man.
Well, you have to take into account, we can't discredit the guy. He is the champion. Well, in my eyes, he really isn't. But he does have the belt still, and he hasn't lost yet. So there's no, even though he's got an injury and he's coming back from an injury, there's no substantial proof that he's going to go in there and just absolutely suck and be different from all of his other fights. And all his other fights, he just dominates everyone. So you can't really set him as too big of an underdog. That being said, you really can't put him as the favorite either.
I don't know. Anybody else a handicapper out there? I'd put Barao at minus 230 to minus 250 range, man. You have to factor in the injury and 2-year layoff. And the fact, like not even that, like if Cruz was just coming back to face some dude who had the interim championship, that'd be one thing. But he is facing an undefeated man, like beyond undefeated. It's crazy who he's facing. That alone, I mean, I'm being generous here to Cruz by only handicapping it at minus 250 for Barao, in my opinion. But we'll see what Vegas comes up with. It'll be interesting. The other championship fight, Jake, I already fucking forgot, on UFC 169. It was announced.
Ricardo Lamas taking on featherweight champ Jose Aldo.
Oh, that's why I fucking forgot. Jake, you talk about this one. Who you got and who's everybody else got? What the hell?
I don't know. No one's gonna pick against Aldo at 145. I like the fact that Lamas is getting the chance because it seems like the rest of the people up at the top of 145, like Mendez, Swanson, etc., have had a chance at Aldo before. This is gonna be a fight. Talking about odds, I don't think the odds are going to be very much in Ricardo Lamas' favor.
Ross, what's up, man? Lamas versus Aldo. This is just another. They're setting up the pins for this guy to just bowl down again, aren't they?
Jose Aldo is top 3 pound for pound in the world right now. He is so dominant, so damn good. 23-1. He's finishing guys left and right. He's so well-rounded. Ricardo Lamas, he's a good fighter. He has all the tools. He's got good wrestling. That being said, he has nothing to offer Jose Aldo. It's nothing Jose Aldo hasn't seen before. This fight won't be extremely competitive. I think Aldo will finish this fight. I think he knocks him out. Yuri Alcantara was able to knock him out. I think Aldo knocks him out.
Officer Allen, what do you think? Jose Aldo versus Ricardo Lamas.
If the zombie couldn't do it, Ricardo Lamas, the bully, couldn't do it.
Damn right, short and concise. Yell the truth. What is the damn truth? Ricardo Lamas versus Jose Aldo.
That's what I'm here to ask you. Is this the straight shoot?
This fight, confirmed, will be a shoot. Ricardo Lamas doesn't stand a chance. He's just like his brother Lorenzo. That's the truth. That is the war in the street. This fight will be legit. Jose Aldo, they really don't rig fights for him. Honestly, the UFC is hoping that he loses. I mean, they were hoping Michael McDonald would shut him down, honestly. So yeah, you know, I mean, honestly,
Michael McDonald.
Yeah, didn't he?
Too bad they don't fight the same weight class or anything. It's a shame that he can't shut him down.
Oh, I'm thinking about Barrow again. Well, whatever. You know what I mean? They don't care who Jose Aldo fights, obviously. That's why he's fighting with someone named Ricardo Lamas. He doesn't sell fights over here in the U.S. That's why I got him confused with another dude, man. That's not good. That's not a good sign if you are a fighter.
Let's just refer to all Brazilian fighters as the Brazilian.
Yeah, they're just, whatever. Who cares which one I'm talking about? Barrow, Aldo. Anyway, people, it's probably a good time to end it when I start getting too spacey. The Sacred Plant, once again, helping us out, sponsoring the podcast. Tune in next week. Follow at the MMA Podcast, at Boss Finkelstein, at Westland Eagle AH, at Yao_the truth. Follow me on Twitter, the Aunt Jimmy Show. Next week, we're going to have a new female co-host debuting. Secret. Guess we won't even believe it. In the meantime, we will see you next time. Have a good night. Hey, smoke weed every day. And don't tell Lexi. Word on the street.
And I'm coming through the door, quick to whoop you up and knock your ass to the floor. Think I'm playing with you, but this fist gon' hit ya. Always in the hood, #1 with split. Never try to stop, cause you know you can't compete.